Hello, welcome my dear life accountants. So in today's video we are going to look at how to turn life losses into profits. As life accountants, we need to know that the God who created us, whom we are accountable to, is a merciful God. So even if our lives account is running on a loss, God has given us the power to change it to a profit. He has given us the power to change the situation of our lives. That is only if you desire and if you are willing to take up your cross and change the situation. But one thing is that most of us give up too early. Most of us don't know how to come out from that situation. And most of us let our losses define us. So in this video, I am going to explain to us how to turn a life account that is running on a loss to a profit balance. The greatest power God has given us in order to change the situation of our life is the ability to learn. Once we learn and know that it's possible for us to change the situation of our lives, then it's possible. So number one thing to do if you want to change the situation of your life from a negative balance to a positive balance is to first learn lessons from painful experiences. I will share my own story with us. There was a period in my life when I was going through a difficult season. I've shared the story many times. When I wanted to get married, my family was against my decision. I felt rejected, misunderstood, lonely, and questioned my existence. At that time, my life balance was running on a loss. But when I had to go back and reflect on everything that happened during that period, I found out that those experiences actually helped me. Because in that moment of loneliness, I drew closer to God. In that moment of loneliness, I began to gain clarity about my purpose in this world. In that moment of rejection, I understood that God is ever present. And in that moment of separation, God began to fill me with His knowledge, wisdom, and insight. So that is how you can be able to convert situations of losses to profit in your life, by learning and drawing inspiration from your painful experiences. So after you have learned lessons from your painful experiences, the next thing you have to do is to intentionally make a change. Because you've learned lessons, you believe there was actually a pain, there was a bad habit, there was a weakness somewhere that made that situation painful. The next thing is to change towards that situation. Make an intentional move to come out of that situation. In my own time, I knew I was a people pleaser. So one way I needed to change intentionally was to be able to make decision and stand by it. I now had to realize that in order to excel in life, in order to say you're accountable for your life, you need to make decisions and boldly stand by it, by trusting God and making that decision. Because in the end, it's still God that matters, the one who gave you life, whom you will account to. So I knew that people pleasing was one bad habit I needed to eliminate from my life. So at that point in time, I learned lessons from my pain and deliberately made move, started acting intentionally towards changing my situation. So after you have decided to change the situation intentionally, that means you have decided to start again. So the next step is to start all over again. Forget about what happened in the past. Rather, whenever you remember it, draw lessons, pick the good part of it and forge ahead. So what you need to do is to start your life account afresh. You can say it's your rebirth season, it's your reborn season. It's a period when you fully aligned. So after you have made that decision to start all over again, you're now going to intentionally fill in your life's account with positivity. Then afterwards, maintain a solid relationship with the one who created you, because you cannot actually do life without him. You can't do life without the gift of the Holy Spirit that he has deposited in you. So for you to now maintain a positive balance, you now need an intentional habit through the relationship you have created with God. You will now maintain a good life account with positive records. So after you have built a strong and quality relationship with your Creator, who is now going to be directing you, aligning you, protecting you, guiding you, the next thing to do is to begin to share your story. At every point in time, tell others about your experience. You don't know who you'll be helping. You don't know who will learn lessons, who is going through that same experience, who will gain inspiration from your own experience, and who might even have that as a guide and not make that kind of mistake you made. And at the end, that your negative balance will automatically and gradually change to a positive balance, because your painful experience has served a good cause. So having heard this is how to change a life account that is running on a loss to a profit balance. As always, I will ask us a question. Are there losses in your life? Are there things you know that is affecting your life account? You know that is not good. What deliberate action will you take to start converting that loss into a profit? And always remember to be the accountant of your life. Peace out.